We're particularly keen on the issues of the illicit flow of funds.
Therefore, if it brings the Nigerian condition to the international public, wherever they can help.
Ahead of United Nations General Assembly, President Buhari arrives New York.
I encourage members of the public to cut off the supply side of corruption by stopping the offering of bribes to judicial officers.
Respect the pronouncements of the nation's courts. That's the advice of the Chief Justice of Nigeria as new legal year commences and new 6 are inducted. Northern governors go to Port Harcourt, call for peaceful coexistence among Nigerians. Good evening and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Isaac Nkuma. In Lagos is Ademola Adeoye. In Kaduna we have Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun. And in Benin it's Ogochukwuka Ona. President Muhammadu Buhari is in New York ahead of the opening of the 72nd session of the United Nations General Assembly. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports on the third outing of the Nigerian leader at the global annual event since coming to power.
President Muhammadu Buhari, accompanied by the governors of Zamfara, Ondo and Ebonyi states, arrived John Kennedy International Airport at about 7 o'clock Sunday evening local time. He was received by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, Nigeria's permanent representatives at the United Nations, Professor Tijani Bande, the National Security Advisor, Babagana Mungunu, and other senior government officials. While in New York, President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to participate alongside other world leaders in the general debate of the Global Assembly, focusing on people striving for peace and a decent life for all on a sustainable planet. The Nigerian leader will, during the session, deliver the country's national statement projecting Nigeria as a strong moral force and responsible member of the international community, irrevocably committed to global peace, security and development. Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyema and the presidential spokesman Femi Adesina speak on Nigeria's expectations at the General Assembly.
We're particularly keen on the issues of the illicit flow of funds. That comes within our anti-corruption drive. And what we're particularly going to be pushing, and Norway is supporting us on that, is getting the international community to really make more of an effort in the repatriation of stolen loot.
The trend in the world is that nobody goes it alone again. Therefore, if it brings the Nigerian condition to the international public, wherever they can help, they will help. This is a global platform. You don't have it bigger than this one. And for us as Nigerians, the fact that our president is here in person is a big achievement. It's coming to market Nigeria. There are good things happening in the country, and he's going to talk about them. He will talk about the economy that is coming around. He will talk about the fight against insurgency, and that is just at the mopping up process.
So President Buhari will be among the first 10 speakers during the opening session of the debate.
He will be number 7.
Number 7. That's significant for Nigeria.
Well, it is significant. The weight of Nigeria is very well known. Since 1960, we have been a force for good around the world. So there are all kinds of stories, but this is what it is. We are in a setting where people are free to say what they believe, but we are also right to begin to show people that certain aspects that are said are not right. But through it all, the relevance of Nigeria to the continent and to the world is well known.
President Buhari, who will attend various high-level meetings on the sidelines of the General Assembly, is billed to be hosted to a lunch by U.S. President Donald Trump. The Nigerian leader is also expected to hold bilateral talks with the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres. This is the third time President Muhammadu Buhari will be attending the United Nations General Assembly since coming to power. From New York, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And back home in Nigeria, the Northern Governors Forum has called for peaceful coexistence among Nigerians, irrespective of ethnic or religious affiliation. Governor of Borno State, Alhaji Kashim Shettima, made the call when he led some members of the forum to River State Government House on a courtesy visit. Ogedi Nyekwere reports.
Representatives of the Northern Governors Forum were essentially in Government House Port Harcourt to sue for peace towards peaceful coexistence across the country. Leader of the delegation and Governor of Borno State, Kashim Shettima, commended Governor Wike for nipping in the bud the activities of some indigenous people of Biafra, who attacked Northerners living in Oyibo local government area of the state.
We monitored all the measures that you took, particularly your statewide address, will restore hope in the minds of some troubled Nigerians resident in River State.
Governor Wike said that
I will not, as a governor, sitting here to allow any group of persons to intimidate, molest any other person for the sake of one thing or the other.
In Port Harcourt, Ogedi Nyekwere, NTA News.
Now, members of Hausa communities, residents in various parts of Anambra State, under the edges of Arewa community, have paid a solidarity visit to Governor Willie Obiano in Awka. Benson Osadebe reports that members of the delegation expressed satisfaction with what they described as the governor's humane disposition towards non-Anambra indigents.
Taking the lead, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Muslim Affairs, who is Sarikin Hausa in Awka, Alhaji Garuba Haruna, noted that never in the history of the state has the community had it so good than now. In their separate remarks, the Sarikin Hausa in Onitsha, Alhaji Ilyasu Imam, his Nnewi counterpart, Alhaji Salisu Kumba, and the head of Fulani community in the state, Alhaji Gidado Sadiq, noted that they are comfortable doing their businesses in the state because of Governor Obiano's belief in the unity and peace of the country. They pledge their support to Governor Obiano's administration in order to ensure that their cordial relationship they are enjoying presently within the Anambra is sustained.
The security situation is very tight, and you are the cause. Your neighbors to be happy, we are free, we are going everywhere we want to go, and nobody is very well.
The whole month of Anambra State, a fixed time for prayer that no enemy will see you. Inshallah, no enemy will see you.
Governor Willie Obiano commended the Hausa community and assured them that under his watch, their lives and property will be properly secured. He urged them to be law-abiding and shun acts capable of generating strife in their localities.
The only thing I ask of you is to be a good citizen. Don't do things that the police will arrest you. Are you hearing me? That is what you owe us.
He also stressed the need for vigilance to identify and report strange or troublesome elements among them. From the Governor's Lodge, Amobia, Benson Osadebe, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the need for regular improvement on the existing capacity of the Nigerian Army to be combat-ready to deal with present and future security threats have been identified as imperative. This was by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, at the combined Chief of Army Staff 2nd and 3rd Conference in Abuja. Olajide Bello reports.
The Nigerian Army has been involved in numerous operations, both internally and externally, in line with its constitutional roles as dictated by domestic and foreign policy objectives. Successes recorded in degrading insurgency, militancy, cattle rustling has been attributed to resource acquisition and management, training, civil-military cooperation, interagency cooperation, and observance of human rights, with a high level of responsiveness and professionalism. In view of these, an assessment of the Nigerian Army's capabilities in its ongoing operations across the country, as well as possible future challenges, brought to the fore the need to optimize existing capacities while strategizing all-round increased combat efficiency.
It's intended to ensure a seamless connection between the ends, the ways and means of tackling insecurity, as the Nigerian Army continues to be the pride of the nation in safeguarding our territorial integrity.
Since the Chief of Army Staff First Quarter Conference 2017, the Nigerian Army has recorded successes in training and ongoing operations across the country.
The combined Chief of Army Staff 2nd and 3rd Quarter Conference was a platform to brainstorm on ways to sustain achievements and exploit other avenues the Nigerian Army can perform its responsibilities. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
And from security to humanitarian stories, now a Nigerian, Zana Mustafa, has won the 2017 United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees Nansen Refugee Award. UNHCR country representative Antonio Kanhandula said this in Abuja. Olainka Ojo reports that the award winner is an unsung hero who has gone beyond the call of duty on behalf of refugees and internally displaced persons.
Education is essential for refugees and internally displaced persons. It helps them to overcome their harrowing experiences and provides them with skills to fight negative effects of displacement. For his unrelenting dedication towards providing quality education to widows, displaced and vulnerable children in the last 10 years, Zana Mustafa, a lawyer and mediator, won the prestigious award. With a passion that knows no bound for a better society, Zana Mustafa's commitment to conflict resolution saw him take on a role as a mediator between the Nigerian government and Boko Haram militants for the release of 103 schoolgirls adopted.
These children would be the ones to go for amicable settlement of this conflict, God willing.
It is very inspiring that individuals like Barrister Zana have taken it upon themselves, recruiting children on both sides of the conflict.
Whatever UNHCR can do to help make it a success, my team stands ready, but it is a Nigerian battle.
The 2017 UNHCR Nansen Award will be presented to Zana Mustafa on the 2nd of October in Geneva, Switzerland. In Abuja, Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
And joining me now is Zana Mustafa, a lawyer and founder of Future Pro-West Islamic Foundation School and the 2017 UNHCR Nansen Refugee Award winner. Mr. Mustafa, congratulations and welcome to NTA Network News.
Thank you.
Now, what's the inspiration, to this humanitarian work that has earned you this award?
Well, I am a lawyer by profession. And after serving the profession for 20 years, I felt I should go in for other services, like rendering humanitarian services. That was when I ventured in 2007 to give supportive service to orphans and vulnerable children. So in 2009, when the insurgency started, there was backlog of requests for enrollment of children to school, because of the insurgency where most of their parents were killed. So we now enroll from both sides of the divides to see that one of the principles of which we stood for is admit orphans, and there was backlog of it. Hence, we started admitting from the both sides of the divides, where the children of those who are of the insurgents and those of the security forces and those that are caught up in the insurgency. That was how we were able to put them.
All right, now just share with me, how does it feel caring for and providing education to orphans, widows, and the less privileged?
Well, it is a very,
most especially in the troubled region like the Northeast.
One of the things that often bring conflicts in human beings that when you do not belong to. So if you are playing an inclusive, all-inclusive game, everybody belongs to that. And you make sure that you allow them to own the process. Like saying you want to offer certain things. You should allow the people to choose what they want to be taught. They want to find future for themselves. Then you have to say, what sort of things do you want? They say this, you have to tell them what they need to have. From there, then they pick. And you allow them. In our own case, what we did was, like, we brought all the widows of that and told them that we want to find future for these orphans. How do you want us to do it? They said, we want this course, we want this thing. We brought in the government curriculum and then start explaining things. We said hygiene. What about hygiene? It's to take care of your health, saying you cut up your fingers, wash on when you are eating, all these things. And they felt it is okay. And when it comes to dressing, like we said, we have to put in this thing. They said they want hijab, Nilen and all these things. So instead of introducing Barrett and others by encouraging different things into our culture, we allow them to own the whole process and decide for what they want. So that was how we leveraged to get what we wanted.
So, so you used the bottom-up approach and not the top-down. So really. they're involved.
Yes, they are involved in the process.
We'll show their cooperation it's to the fullest.
Yes.
All right. Now, before this time, or at a time, you served as a mediator between the federal government of Nigeria and Boko Haram that saw the release of the first 103 abducted schoolgirls. What was it like?
Well, it happens, there's one thing people don't often understand. This is a process that started. And if we are to look at how it started, it was the president who had that mighty heart to go to the level of United Nations to say, I want to negotiate with Boko Haram. So this is the mighty heart that makes us to see that this process has succeeded. Let's take, for example, this, as we started this process, we went in, but he was the conduit. He gave us the mandate to do that. Ever since, before he said this at the level of the United Nations, there is nothing positive that comes out of our meet. But when he said that, at least they started talking to the Nigerian government. And secondly, they were able to release about 103 of them.
Yes, we know that. And Mr. Zana, well, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time, and congratulations again on your award.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the best. Now, this is to remind you that you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. And still to come, new silks are inaugurated as Chief Justice of Nigeria. Call for respect for court pronouncements. Stay with us after this break.
From 1967 to 1970, Nigeria went through a horrifying civil war. It didn't matter who was wrong or right. Everybody suffered. Those who fought that war say it should never happen again.
So a lot of people will say, but you were leading the first one. Yes, I led the first one. I don't think a second one is necessary. We should have learned from that first one. Otherwise, the dead would have been to no avail, could all have been in vain.
The words of our elders are full of wisdom.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Come, sisters, I got some special discount on data.
No, my name is sister. I will give you cheaper data. Aha, sister. Now we get your bonga data for here.
Hold on. About go, everybody will enter. There's no need to rush.
Now, so there's more than enough data for everyone, eh? Pepper them gun.
Now, so you pepper every night, Yoruba pepper them the other for the data.
Excuse me, ladies first.
It's free data time for all Glow subscribers. Get 200 MB free data with free data day. Simply use 100 MB data plus 150 Naira on voice calls or 250 Naira on voice calls the preceding week to qualify. The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data. Thursday, September 28th is Free Data Day nationwide. With Glow Overload, get 200 MB free data and make something happen.
Nigeria is a strong emerging world economy with a population of over 170 million people. With the diligent work of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, in line with the federal government's economic diversification agenda, SON has put in place accredited laboratories to ensure that made in Nigeria products meet international standards and ready for export. SON regularly conducts products registration, certifications, factory inspections, monitoring, a metrology laboratory to get accurate measurements, while SONCAP checks the conformity of imported products and the SON Legal Act to prosecute offenders. Don't sell and don't buy substandard products. Before you buy, look well. See something, say something, or call these numbers. SON, improving life through standards.
Availability. Check. Confidentiality. Check. Integrity. Check. Transformation in action. The 6 years of Governor Abdul Aziz Abubakar Yari in Zamfara State clearly manifest good governance and foresight. In fact, transforming the agrarian state to the promised land. Welcome to Zamfara, a state being governed by a visionary and dynamic leader whose magic finger is touching every aspect of human lives. No wonder Abdul Aziz Yari is being referred as agent of Buhari's change mantra. Yari is bringing development closer to the Zamfara people and the nation at large. Zamfara, the pride of the nation. This message is brought to you by Iowa Media Group.
Hey, bro, what's up, man? Wait. Sure, son, I want the bicycle.
Introducing Airtel Unlimited Data Plans. Get Unlimited 10 for 10,000 Naira. Get Unlimited 15 for 15,000 Naira. And Unlimited 20 for 20,000 Naira. Unlimited data. Unlimited you.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Nigeria of our dreams is our collective responsibility. Take advantage of the Voluntary Assets and Income Declaration Scheme, VADES. Declare your full assets and income and regularize your tax status with VADES, which is on from July 1st, 2017 till March 31st, 2018. It attracts no interest, no penalty, no tax prosecution, and no tax audit. Declare early to avoid interest and penalties. Visit www.vades.gov.ng or the nearest tax office for more information. This message is brought to you by the Federal Government, Federal Inland Revenue Service, and States Boards of Internal Revenue. VADES. I declare. My duty, my nation.
Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, will commence its second and third phase of verification for civil service pensioners in the southwest zone of Nigeria. The verification is scheduled to hold in these centers: Lagos, 18 to 29 September 2017. Memorable gathering, Plot 15, Block C, opposite Tisco Plaza, Alausa. Lagos State Sports Commission, Yaba. 3B's Event Center, K2. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, Icon Center, Amuodofi. Government Senior College, beside NYSC Camp, Agege. Oyo State, 16 to 21st October 2017. Center 1, Orisha Jolomi Thomas Hall, International Conference Center, UR Ibadan. Center 2, Tafo Grace Event Center, Abeokuta Ibadan Express Road, Akwata, Ibadan. Center 3, Nigeria Union of Pensioners, Oyo State Pensioners House, Agbarigo Area, Ogun State, 16 to 21st October 2017. Center 1, June 12 Cultural Center, Kuto, Abeokuta. Center 2, DLK Event Center, Abiola Way, Abeokuta. Pensioners are advised to come along with their necessary documents. For more information, visit the website www.ptad.gov.ng. Call PTAD toll-free number 0800-2255-7823. Executive Secretary, PTAD, Announcer.
And I get a headache, but I remembered Mom's advice.
Son, don't let anything stop you, okay?
When headache strikes, I always trust Sudrex. Because Sudrex acts fast to relieve headaches. Sudrex, win your day.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant. To achieve our creed as we promise, we shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
Government of Nigeria introduces the first sovereign sukuk. That's right, the government plans to raise 100 billion naira in sukuk for the construction and rehabilitation of roads across the country. With as little as 10,000 naira, anyone, individual, institutional, cooperative societies can invest. The sukuk is a low-risk investment secured by the federal government of Nigeria. Returns from the sukuk are tax-free and paid twice a year. Principal is paid at maturity in 7 years, and it will be listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange and FMDQ. You can invest by following these easy steps. Open a CSCS account with your stockbroker if you don't already have one. Download the Sukuk form from www.dmo.gov.ng or www.lotuscapitallimited.com or www.fbnmerchantbank.com. Transfer your investment amount into any of these accounts. You can also pick up forms from the financial advisors, Lotus Financial Services, www.lotuscapitallimited.com. Email invest@lotuscapitallimited.com or call 0807-709-9550. FBN Merchant Bank, www.fbnmerchantbank.com. Email info@fbnmerchantbank.com or call 012-702-291. Offer open on September 14th, 2017. Please read the prospectus and contact your financial consultant before subscribing. Don't be left out.
Thanks for staying with us. A new legal year has commenced for the Supreme Court of Nigeria with the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onoge, calling for the pronouncement of the nation's courts to be respected and complied with. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okeowo reports on this and other activities that accompanied the new legal year.
With a high-powered attendance of the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and 3 governors, this year's ceremony stands out. The new legal year commemoration is a tradition that has been with the Nigerian judiciary for as long as it has existed. It's always an opportunity to take stock of the happenings in the preceding year as a way of ensuring that the mistakes of the previous year are not carried over to the succeeding year, which is what the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, warned against when he called on the judiciary to reconsider the length of their annual vacation. While President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Abubakar Mahmood, and representative of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Chief Okpoku, both stated the legal profession's commitment to the fight against corruption. But the Chief Justice of Nigeria is particularly concerned about the sanctity of Nigeria's democracy, which, he says, lies in the respect for judicial pronouncements.
Again, the pronouncements of every court ought to be firmly enforced and complied with, without exception. I encourage members of the public to cut off the supply side of corruption by stopping the offering of bribes to judicial officers.
Apart from stock-taking, the commencement of the Supreme Court new legal year is also used for the conferment of the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria on deserving legal practitioners. 29 were conferred this year.
But learning is a continual process. We're continue to commit ourselves to the ideals of this noble profession.
We pray that our country, Nigeria, will continue to prosper.
And so for the legal community in Nigeria, this is a new year coming with resolutions. But unlike the social community, these resolutions come with timelines and specifications as to their mode of implementation. From the Supreme Court, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
To health matters now. Despite the successes achieved in the fight against polio, government at all levels have been advised to do more in respect of funding so as to stop transmission of the virus and improve routine immunization. This was at the 34th Expert Review Committee in Abuja. Mujanatu Adam Said reports.
No longer news that polio is crippling and potentially fatal infectious disease that affects the central nervous system. In most cases, it causes temporary or permanent paralysis, especially on the leg. A report released in August 2016 showed Nigeria was in the list of 3 countries in the world with 4 cases of white polio virus.
Finish the work of polio eradication. 2. Drive routine immunization coverage to 85%. Strengthen governance and accountability at NTA. And finally, provide strategic direction on primary health care.
It is for us to do something. I mean, these are issues. We may be laughing about it, but it's serious. Part of the innovation that is coming up is not just affecting the NPCD, but it's also going to affect the ERC itself.
This meeting is an effort by the public health experts to eliminate all cases of polio virus, not only in Nigeria, Africa, but globally.
We observe in the field some decay in our coaching infrastructure, some decay in our rapid response to issues. And I hope the ERC will again highlight the need for us to pay a little more attention on that.
We have all come together with the increased vigor in our efforts to ensure that every child in every part of the country is reached with the polio vaccine.
The experts say it's almost 13 months now that Nigeria has no single case of polio, but despite that, the country must not relent on its efforts. Some of the development partners at this meeting advised the Nigerian government to increase its surveillance in tracking fresh cases of polio, especially in hard-to-reach areas like the Northeast. From the NAF officers' mess in Abuja, Mujanatu Adam Said, NTA News.
Reduction of carnage on Nigerian roads is achievable with cooperation of key players on safety, road users and government at all levels. Corps Marshal, Federal Road Safety Commission, Safety Corps, Boboye Oyeyemi, made this known at the inauguration of the Sector Command Office Complex in Ilorin, Kwara State. Deborah Agbola has the details.
The Federal Road Safety Corps Marshal Boboye Oyeyemi expressed gratitude to the Kwara State government for providing the land and the federal government for timely completion of the office complex, which he says will facilitate enhanced operations of the FRSC officials. He explained that with determination and cooperation of road users and safety stakeholders, carnages and mortality on the roads will be reduced drastically.
I've kept to my words that we put up this, that we have our permanent offices. By the time we finish, we should have about 10 of these in the next before the end of next year.
Commissioning the 33-room office complex, the Kwara State Governor, Alhaji Abdul Fattah Ahmed, commended officers and men of the Federal Road Safety Corps for enforcing and promoting safety on the Nigerian roads. While promising more support for FRSA in the state, the governor calls for an enhanced synergy between the private sector, relevant agencies and government at all levels for the safety of all road users.
I urge road users to obey all traffic laws, be mindful of other road users, and work with the Federal Road Safety Corps in ensuring road safety. Once again, I want to congratulate the FRSC on today's occasion, and I will ensure that this place is well supported for the appropriate furnishing to make it conducive.
Highlights of the event included health screening for FRSC officials. Deborah Agbola, NTA News.
Let's go over to our Lagos Network Center now. Ademola is standing by with more reports.
Thank you, Isaac. Good evening and warm welcome to Lagos. Motorists in Lagos have been going through a lot of difficulties in the past few days following the menace of trailers and fuel tankers which blocked the roads leading to Lagos ports. The articulated vehicles have also turned several bridges in this busy city to trailer parks, thereby making it very difficult for other motorists to use those bridges. Dejidowu has the details.
Lagos, on a normal working day, is noted for heavy vehicular movement. Gridlock is therefore a challenge the state government has been grappling with. Situation has, however, degenerated the more following the invasion of the ever-busy Ikorodu Expressway, leading to Apapa ports by trucks and fuel tankers. The drivers of these articulated vehicles have also turned the bridges along these axes to parking lots, a development considered to be very dangerous to the safety of these bridges. Motorists naturally are not happy about this development.
Here for the past 2 hours. Painful, actually. It's painful. Where I'm going to is very important to me.
So all these trailers, they should get them up the route.
These trucks are from different parts of the country. They are in Lagos to either lift containers from Lagos ports or load petroleum products. The ongoing reconstruction work on Apapa Port roads has made access to the ports and farm tanks difficult. There appears to be no efficient alternative routes for them. The drivers are quite unhappy after spending several days without getting to their destination.
From Gombe, only 48 hours. Now I have about more than 72 hours I am on the road now.
I'm just happy to our government. In fact, they are trying, but I want them to try more.
A major task for both the Federal Ministry of Works and the Lagos State government is to get these vehicles off the major express roads and bridges. In Lagos, Dejidowu, NTA News.
Over 21,000 pensioners are being verified in 5 centers in Lagos by the Pension Traditional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD. The centers are at Alausa, Amuwo-Odofin, Yaba, Ketu, and Agege. Musa Toliat has the details.
Pension verification exercise is taking place simultaneously in 5 centers: Alausa, Ketu, Yaba, Amuwo-Odofin, and Agege. Pensioners who came in their numbers at one of the centers visited in Road Park, Yaba, were made to undergo screening in biodata, digital capturing, and verification of relevant documents. According to the Executive Secretary, Peter Sharon Ikeazo, more than 21,000 pensioners are expected to be verified during the exercise. The objective of the program, she said, is to correct some lapses detected in the old pension scheme with a view to placing pensioners on payroll for payment of their monthly pension.
Until we capture the very last pensioner, we will not stop the verification. So I'm assuring them within 3-4 months, they'll be receiving their pension payments. And bear in mind, majority of them who are here are already on monthly pensions.
The PTAD Executive Secretary also stressed that effective machinery has been put in place to come up with a secured database so that verification exercise will no longer be needed to pay genuine federal pensioners in the country. Some of the pensioners expressed satisfaction with the conduct of the exercise.
The process is very interesting, very good.
The process is very easy. I came and I do it and I'm going home now.
PTAD says pension verification exercise will be rounded off in the southwestern part of the country after the program has been taken to Ondo, Ogun, and Oyo states. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. We now take a break for some messages, after which the news continues from Abuja. Stay with us.
First of all, congratulate the Debt Management Office for having this creativity and bringing this book. I want to really support this federal government sukuk bond of 100 billion naira. I think with the right move, with the right way, it is a very high yielding bond at about 16.47%, paid twice yearly. So I think people will really benefit. It's good. It's like savings. It's tax free. It's good for people to invest, and it will benefit everybody. It will fund the infrastructure that is lacking, which all of us will need. It will give us safer roads. And I think, I encourage each and every Nigerian, including myself, to participate. We as a company will participate because we think it's the best way of government funding infrastructure. We are doing other things with government, but this one too is critical to, the growth of our economy. There is no economy that will grow without the right infrastructure. So we support it. And I encourage each and every Nigerian to, participate, because it is good investment for somebody and also for the family. Thank you.
Where innovation begins. The Brain, LG Inverter Technology. Better performance. More energy savings. Now in the entire lineup at LG.
You don't ever buy the recharge card for one network. Come which day if you use them for another one. True, you know say if you use that recharge card, they recharge any network and do many other things. Just buy one card. One card now the orange and blue recharge card. They write one card for everybody. One card they recharge every network, cable television, electricity, and many other things. Plenty of move day. You fit win 1 million naira. 1 million naira. Generator and plenty other things. From now, reach October 2017. Ask your recharge card seller.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice. And making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent's Triple Protection 1, 2, 3. It's 3 toothpaste in 1 to give them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent's Triple Protection 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Mama. Donna, wake up! Wake up, Joe! Why they call my name for dream? Oh, Psycho's way better dream. When my mother arrange correct watches. You dey smell am? Now mangozi food dey smell like this, so. Eh? Oh, go charge you. Mangozi. I declare you. Me now.
Mr. Chef seasoning cubes and powders. They bring out the real taste of home for every food, like the way Mama they make am. Mr. Chef, the taste of tradition.
Mr. Chef.
With Happy Cover from Leadway Assurance, you'll be covered for, well, almost anything. From personal cover to automobile to house, all with one single premium. Get happy. SMS happy to 22865 and we'll call you back. SMS now. Live happy with Leadway Assurance, ensuring happiness since 1970.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the daring and invincible Louis the Mosquito. Responsible for 200 malaria cases all on its own. Is there anything that can kill Louis? Morphine! Presenting Mortine's Power Guard. Its powerful formula kills malaria mosquitoes fast. So, get Mortine's Power Guard.
Welcome back. You're still watching NTA Network News. Economic Observer applauds federal government over concessioning of Lagos, Abuja airports as prices of oil slip but hold near recent highs in the global market. Joy Ozo has details on business news.
Hello and a warm welcome to Business News. The 72nd session of the United Nations General Assembly is underway in New York. Top on the agenda is the assessment of sustainable development goals and other humanitarian issues. Nigeria has scheduled a list of side events to showcase the country's investment opportunities to delegates. Nigeria will be able to feed herself and become a valuable source of nutrition for other nations, considering the abundant natural resources she has. Managing Director of the Nigeria Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agricultural Lending, Mr. Aliu Abdulhamid, told NTA Business News the lack of bankable proposals have made it difficult for rural farmers to easily access credit, thereby making it difficult for them to produce optimally.
It's difficult for them to be able to access formal finance and formal market and formal support on their own. An entity like NASAL has to step in, leverage our resources, and do the organizing, the structuring, and the aggregation.
An economic observer has applauded the federal government over the concessioning of the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos, and Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, Abuja, saying the move will provide incentives for private investment in the nation's aviation sector. Speaking to journalists shortly after the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo made the declaration at the 5th Quarterly Presidential Business Forum recently held in Abuja, Ambassador Aisha Imeje said concessioning of the nation's major airports would not only increase government revenue in the medium term, but enhance their efficiency and operations.
Also, I'm so happy about the way he's addressing power. We cannot do it wholesomely. We have tried and failed. So he's taking it step by step, improving solar and getting more inclusiveness in people to participate in improving power in the nation.
Equities market opened the week on a negative note as the NSE All-Share Index depreciated by 0.38% to close at 34,873.07 basis points. We now bring you a graphic summary of the closing figures. And that's it on Business News. I am Joy Uzo.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has reiterated the commitment and resolve of the Buhari administration to the active implementation of a new development agenda for the Niger Delta region. The Vice President stated this while interacting with a group of foreign investors who paid him a courtesy visit. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo responded to various questions from the investors on different aspects of the Nigerian economy and polity and assured them that the Buhari administration is delivering on the reforms that would ensure an enabling business environment in the country. Asked about the progress of the new vision for Niger Delta articulated by the administration, Vice President Osinbajo explained that the current engagement with the Niger Delta is such that the people of the region would have a stake, stressing that the people are happy with their approach. It will be recalled that just last week, the Vice President announced the release of a 2 billion naira takeoff grant for the Maritime University in the Niger Delta region. The federal government says the IPOB is using fake videos of mass killings harvested from other parts of Africa and doctored to look current to mislead the international community on alleged ongoing genocide in the country to win their support. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed stated this when he addressed online publishers in Lagos.
The minister warned that IPOB is working towards externalizing their propaganda through the writing of letters to foreign governments and parliaments of some Western nations to give the impression that they are victims of an ethno-sectarian violence orchestrated by the federal government.
There's nothing like genocide anywhere in our country today. What we have in the southeast is a clampdown on a band of lawless people who have no regard for the laws of the land. Those who argue against this should mention just one country where an organization has set up paramilitary and paramilitary organizations, confronted the national army, and engaged in extorting the people without consequences.
The minister said some ill-informed foreign individuals are already trumpeting the lies and propaganda by IPOB alleging genocide, which is completely baseless and unfounded. He appealed to the online publishers to help counter the fake narrative on social media on the situation in the southeast.
This is because law professionals, including journalists, can operate when a nation descends into anarchy. We must not, deliberately or otherwise, strengthen the hands of those who are bent on destroying our nation. Opinion leaders must also moderate their interventions in order not to aggravate the situation on ground.
The minister reiterated his earlier statement that IPOB is being sponsored by a coalition of politically disgruntled treasury looters and the organization is a contraption against Buhari's administration. In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The discussions are on to review multi-year tariff order to allow proper funding of the power sector and also be fair for social and economic development. Correspondent Usman Aliyu reports that the consultation forum to that effect is led by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission in Abuja and other geopolitical zones.
The Electricity Power Sector Reform Act 2005 offers the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission powers to review tariff in the light of changes in a limited number of parameters such as inflation, exchange rates and power generation capacity. That explains this consultation among players for input on when and how to increase or reduce electricity tariff.
We should also know that the tariff, especially in the Nigerian case, is a little bit much more complex than we think.
We are not out to announce any tariff increase. We are only consulting the public because regulation is stakeholder driven, and our consultation is more to do with hearing from customers how frequently we look at the figures that go into tariff.
I believe that cost-reflective tariff will be the key objective to settle the various issues in the power sector.
The output of this consultation is expected to guide the Commission to come up with new plans on tariff for efficient and improved power supply in Nigeria. In Abuja, Usman Aliu, NTA News.
And Suleiman is standing by with reports trending in Kaduna. Over to you, Suleiman.
Thank you very much, Isaac, and welcome.
Thank you very much.
The Nigerian Air Force has graduated additional 150 Special Force, also known as Regiment Specialty, on different aspects of security previously not in place. Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, alongside top officers, were at the historic event held in Kaduna. Ahmad Muhammad Usman has the details.
The officers comprising airmen and women underwent 8 weeks intensive training at the base to prepare them for the tasks ahead under the tutelage of some world-class technical partners from Israel. This is the second time in the year the Special Forces are having the opportunity to demonstrate mastery of the training learned on self-defense, rescue operation techniques, and display of survival equipment in a formal ceremony meant for their graduation. Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar is the Chief of Air Staff.
We need to reiterate that the Nigerian Air Force will continue to work with all our partners to strive to be at the fore of government efforts to rid our nation of these criminal elements and restore normalcy.
Major Roy is the head of Israeli training team.
The threat of terrorism in the country at the age of asymmetric warfare demands special units that will know how to deal with extreme and complex situations.
During the combined graduation, 6 officers from the initial Regiment Officers Course and 74 personnel from VIP for protection course were integrated among others. The second batch of 150 Air Force personnel shortlisted for the Special Forces course commences soon. Kaduna, Ahmad Muhammad Usman, NTA News.
And with that report, is back to you, Isaac, for more on the network news.
Many thanks, Suleiman. A report just reaching us says the 5-week-old industrial action by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has been called off after a meeting between the union and the federal government representatives. And still on our lineup tonight, sports and weather. When we return, stay with us.
Guys, look how my baby Jamil has grown. And as they grow, there's a worry we all share, skin rash. Some use lotions or petroleum jelly, but I found what works for Jamil is Nigerian Pampers. It has built-in lotion to help protect his delicate skin and keep him dry. See you in the morning, Jam Jam. Good morning, happy Jam Jam. Dry and soft and no sign of a rash. Join many other moms and try Nigerian Pampers with lotion. Let's beat the rash.
As a lover of good food, I enjoy trying different recipes. And with the right ingredients, I always achieve my desired results. I recently discovered the new Dangote pasta, and since then, I've been hooked. With Dangote pasta, I can go all out with different pasta recipes. You see, Dangote pasta is now made with durum wheat, making it non-sticky and very nutritious. I feel like the greatest chef with Dangote pasta. My meals are always tasty and irresistible.
I like it!
Mixed up, I like it too.
See?
Enjoy the new Dangote pasta, now made with durum. Available in spaghetti and macaroni. Dangote pasta, excelente. Pasta just got better.
I feel alive, so alive. When I'm with my best friends, indulging my G exotic. Taste of paradise. Irresistible, everywhere I go, G exotic. Nothing makes my drink more than when the mixer is delightful, G exotic. And after a long day, I wanna relax with the taste taste of my exotic, yeah. Sinking and get lost. Taste of relaxation, too good not to share. The taste of affection. Oh, say I love the taste of G exotic. I love the taste of G exotic. Love the taste of G exotic. Nothing like the taste of my G exotic. I love the taste of G exotic. Nothing like the taste of my G exotic.
Oh, I love the taste.
G Exotic Nectar. I love the taste.
Bayes University Abuja offers world-class education, uninterrupted academic session, and promising degrees. Bayes University Abuja is affordable and delivers quality with experienced international staff, superb facilities, overseas external examiners, and a serene academic atmosphere. We offer quality and affordable education, and students are within easy reach of their parents here at Bayes University Abuja. So learn to live at Bayes University for a brighter future. For more information, visit our website at www.bayesuniversity.edu.ng or call 081 3376 9657 or 081 3376 9658. Bayes University Abuja. Learn to live.
From generation to generation, Peak has always been there, giving you good nutrition and satisfaction. Peak always been there. And it's Peak, so full and so rich, full and so rich for milk and it's Peak.
And to inform for Nigerians,
I'm glad you stayed. Up next is Sports Update with Kene Emabodike.
Head coach of FCT Basketball Association, Emmanuel Oda, has called for the sustenance of continuity in the D-Tigers if the team must retain its dominance on the